The Austin real estate developer at the center of Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton's impeachment trial will be back in court this week. Nate Paul, who was arrested last week, has been charged with 8 counts of making false statements to financial institutions. His arrest comes a few weeks after the Texas House voted to impeach Ken Paxton. Although the Attorney General was not mentioned in the indictment, Paul's arrest could still impact his trial. Our Charlotte Scott explains.
In a federal courthouse on Friday, Austin real estate developer Nate Paul was charged with 8 counts of providing false reports to several financial institutions in 2017 and 2018.
So the fact that Paul was indicted today on one set of business activities doesn't mean he's not still under investigation on other activities having directly to do with Mr. Paxton. So I do not believe that Ken Paxton is breathing any easier today than he was a couple of days ago. I think he's still in deep trouble.
Paul is also accused of bribing now suspended Attorney General Ken Paxton with a $25,000 political donation. In return, Paxton allegedly wanted a kitchen remodel. Although the charges mentioned Friday don't appear to have anything to do with the suspended Attorney General, the timing of the arrest could indicate that investigators want Paul to eventually testify against Paxton.
So he is very likely to talk to them about anything he knows that they are interested in, because he's in deep trouble. And so how that might come together and what kinds of offers might be made to Mr. Paul in order to help them with their investigation of Mr. Paxton, that would be normal prosecutorial activity. But I suspect that they've got both Paxton and Paul, and they'll take them both down.
Tony Busby, the lead attorney for Ken Paxton, called the impeachment trial against him a sham earlier this week. And in a new statement, he writes, "The charges against Paul evidently have nothing to do with Attorney General Ken Paxton, nothing whatsoever. That should speak volumes as to how weak this impeachment effort is." Paul was released from jail on Friday. His arraignment is next Thursday morning. That's where he'll either plead guilty or not guilty. Meanwhile, Dick DeGuerin, one of the lawyers who will be prosecuting Paxton, says the dominoes are starting to fall. For Spectrum News, I'm Charlotte Scott.
And like Charlotte mentioned, Nate Paul was released from jail Friday with some travel restrictions and is expected back in court on Thursday. Now, we spoke with an expert on why these charges may have been filed now. Go ahead, take a listen.
The indictment is related to crimes that Nate Paul allegedly committed several years ago in 2017 and 2018. And so the decision to drop this indictment now, I think, is definitely curious and begs the question of if there isn't a substantive connection to the Paxton situation, whether there is a strategic connection maybe to the Paxton situation.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. And for more refreshing stories about your community, click the subscribe button right over here. You can also download our Spectrum News app to get live news coverage, weather alerts, and more wherever you are. And don't forget to tune in to Channel 55 on Dish and DirecTV for live local reporting every single day. We'll see you then.